No. This will turn into stress. You can't say that because this is the start of something, and then what's going to happen 3 years down the line? You're going to want surgery.
So if I confront her in the morning, I'm going to get. I'm scared.
Hey Deku Fam.
Hey Deku Fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
Welcome to the conflict resolution series. This is part 2
Yeah.
of a 4-week program. But anyway, guys, seriously, conflict is a real thing in a relationship.
And we've realized you actually can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you tiptoe, regardless of whether you're in the house, out the house, there's something about to come and just.
So that's doing the thing. And sometimes you can think, oh my gosh, my relationship's over. This is not God's best for me. Is divorce my portion? Oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
No. We have learned that like this is just part of the
parcel.
A part of the day.
Don't get married.
Yeah. So the only way to not have conflict is to just not be with anyone.
Yeah.
Do your own thing, do what you want. But if you're getting into a relationship and you're getting married, conflict is real. So we want to talk about how we do that well. And in part 1 we spoke about the mentality that you have before you go into conflict, right? In this video we're talking about conflict.
Confrontation.
Confrontation
has such negative connotation. People think that, you know, when we have a confrontation that things are going to end and people are scared to have the confrontation.
Yeah, we love it.
But we see the importance of confronting each other so that we can, when we have, you know, things that are going on wrong and we feel things, we bring it to the surface and to actually shed light so that our partner can actually understand what's going on within us. Because sometimes we can hold things in and build a sense of resentment and then we're pulling ourselves away from our relationship. So we think it's important to have confrontation. Now, there's other people who enjoy confrontation a little bit too much. And we want to talk about how you confront well because you can confront each other and still be able to, you know, love each other, still laugh afterwards rather than going full guns blazing and destroy your partner. Yeah, because confrontation is part of communication. When you confront, you're talking, and you know how much we love communication. So in arguments, yes, you're confronting each other, but you're still communicating your thoughts. There's nothing worse than not communicating your thoughts. Next minute, bags are packed and you're out the door. So we want to talk about how to confront well. And this is only for subscribed Deku Fam loyal family members, you know what I mean? Not you guys who roll up here, watch the video, and don't subscribe.
No loyalty.
This is the year of commitment, guys.
Come on.
We've got to grow this Deku Fam. Let's go.
Thank you. Okay. So, when confronting your partner, you need to question your attitude.
Woo! Like, you need to question how you're feeling in the moment.
Oh my God.
Because sometimes we go in feeling full of rage, we go in angry, and then we just want to say anything that comes to mind and just go...
This is literally me. No, it was me. I think I'm so much better. If you knew what was going on in my head, I'm growing so much, aren't I? Back in the day, I was like, my heart would get hot, and I'd just be like, it'd just be starting like, can't wait to get home, can't wait to see Gabes tonight, or I'd even call him and just express it on the phone, because I'm that type that, like, if my emotions are saying something, you are gonna hear about it. But recently, oh my gosh,
she's been holding it in.
I've been holding it in, I've been thinking about it in my head, I've been praying over it, and I'm like, God, you know, let me have a calm spirit before I go and confront my husband.
Thing is, it's good to have a calm spirit and a calm head when you're addressing a problem, because you're gonna say things that you don't mean. You're gonna actually sabotage your relationship.
If you're high on emotion.
If you're high on emotion, so it's important, have a calm head, have a calm spirit, and then address. And your partner will be more receptive to what you're saying, rather than if you just pour out emotion. Like you're the Niagara Falls, you know? It's important to go in with a calm head, calm spirit.
Also, when confronting your partner, you need to ask yourself, is this a pattern or is this a one-off?
See, now this is where I have the problem.
Oh my gosh, he will bring up the list of things.
Let me explain my problem. This is my own confession. Okay, so I used to be...
We're growing in this marriage, you know?
I used to be, as soon as anything happened,
oh my God,
you just say, that is an issue, that's an issue, this is the issue. And there was no grace. Because what I've learned now is important to assess patterns. If your partner has a repeated pattern in something, then you address it. But if it's a one-off, okay, sit back, have some
let it
grace.
go. Do you know
it
what
might
I
be
mean?
a one-off. But if it's a one-off and doesn't come back again, you both win. But if it's just a one-off and you go full guns blazing, you're just here ruining your relationship.
Gabes is the type of person that, like, if I you know, say, oh, I don't feel that pretty today. No. This will turn into stress. You can't say that because this is the start of something, and then what's going to happen 3 years down the line? You're going to want surgery. And we're not having that in this household. And I'm like, oh my God, I just said I'm having a bad day. I'm just not feeling my face today.
So now, if Anna has a bad day, I'm like, I listen. If you say it again, I am coming for you.
And he'll have the date last week at, you know, but no, he's learning so much. And sometimes I will stop him, like when he's about to say something, like, babe, it's just a one-off, it's fine. And he'll be like, oh yes, it's a reminder, okay. This doesn't need to go into a whole situation. So you need to question, is it a one-off or is it a pattern in the relationship? So when confronting your partner, another thing that you need to think about is the timing of that conversation.
Timing, this is what I've learned. Timing is very important in this confrontation thing. It's very important because you can say something on 2 separate occasions and you can get 2 completely different outcomes, especially when you have a woman who's highly expressive. Okay, so I have learned to actually consider the timing. So, for example, with Annabella, I can't say anything in the mornings. She's not a morning person. So if I confront her in the morning, I'm going to get... I'm scared.
I'm not that bad.
I will get fired. This mouth, you should see her in the morning. Nah, she'll just cuss me out, like straight up. Okay, another thing I've also learned is that it's important not to, well, this is something Anna's learned, not to confront somebody when they are going to work, for example. Like 5 minutes and you just bring up a little agenda. Do you want to talk about that?
Sometimes, you know, you just want to get it out before they leave the house. But you know they're running around doing their thing and you confront them. And then they have to leave, and someone like Gabes who meditates on things for the whole day. It's not nice. Like, he's not in the right mindset for work. He's not, you know, focused while he's at work. We can't even address the situation. I didn't even give him the full picture or the context. We didn't battle it out. It's just like, if
you're gonna have a conflict, at least allow room to have to be able to talk about it afterwards. Not like, here's a one-liner,
and then we're going out to a party or something. Do you know what I mean? And then you're both hostile at the environment, and then it becomes a public thing. No, the timing is so important.
And another thing to actually, because I think when you're in a marriage, you will understand the person's season. I think like sometimes we both go through very busy seasons, and we may be acting a bit out of character because we're stressed, we've got pressure. And as a partner, yes, we will try our best to kind of, you know, still do everything that we were doing, still be as nice and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes we're not even thinking about it. We're just in the mode of doing work. So it's nice that if Anna, for example, can understand that I'm in a very busy season and give me a bit of grace, a bit of allowance to, you know, not make the bed before I leave the house or not wash up a plate or something like that. Like, have the grace.
Yeah, so true. And I think about times where like work is really busy and you're feeling so under pressure, you're feeling quite insecure. For you, your partner to come up to you and be like, actually, you're not being a great, you know, you're not being a great husband right now. Like, how worse is that going to make them feel? So I think timing, season is so important. Like, when we're in a good mood, I can sometimes bring stuff up and say, oh babe, you know the other week when this happened, I didn't really appreciate the way you did that. And he'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And because we're both positive, so timing is so important, guys.
So important.
When confronting your partner, seek to understand by asking questions.
Questions are so important. So I think when we go into confrontation, we think about how much we need to talk. But the thing is, when a problem arises, what I find is that we're actually both right. We're both right because we're both coming from a different angle in the way that we're approaching the situation. So what is more important is to understand your partner's angle. So I'm trying to understand the angle that Anna is coming up with in this situation. So I ask a bit more questions and give her the opportunity to talk, and then I will bring my point across. And this is also me just trying to bring a bit of peace. If I just go in and try and talk all the time, then it's not good for the relationship.
Yeah, it's a bit arrogant to think that, you know, obviously you've got your perspective, but that's all that the conversation needs to be about. No, because if you know that your spouse is not intentionally out to hurt you, there's clearly a reason why they maybe did it that way. It might be obviously a character flaw, but you want to understand. So we always ask each other questions like, what was going through your mind at that time when you did that? Why did you think to address it in that way?
What did that mean? Like, what were your intentions? Because sometimes there's a big difference between intention and what you see or what you feel like the reality is or the outcome. So it's important to ask questions so that you get things in full context. Because sometimes we go into confrontation like we have all the answers when truly we don't.
We never do. So, seek to understand before you're understood. And ask loads of questions.
Ask loads of questions. It's really helped out just literally asking questions, just pausing for a moment, you know?
And understanding the heart behind the person. Like every time you ask a question, you understand who they are, how they think. So if something like that happened in the future, you realise, oh, it's only because Gabes thinks that way, which is why he did it that way, not because he actually hates me.
Because the thing about marriage is that it's an ongoing journey of understanding each other, and the more questions that we ask, especially when conflict arises, you know how to avoid them, you know how to handle them better. So it's a journey of understanding each other better.
When confronting your partner, you need to actively listen to what has been said. You know, sometimes you're like going on the defense, like trying to think of your next argument. No, actively listen and then take it from there.
We learned something so game-changing for us at that given time when we went into marriage prep.
Oh, the marriage prep.
The marriage prep was fantastic. And what she said was listen, acknowledge, repeat. So this is how you communicate well within a confrontation. So when Anna says something to me, I will listen. I will show that I'm acknowledging what she's saying
by repeating it back to me,
and then I will repeat it and say, okay, so this is how it made you feel. This is what the problem is, and then now Annabella feels like she's been understood. And because sometimes in confrontation, the whole problem is that we're trying to communicate so much, but we're not trying to understand, and our partner actually appreciates when we understand them, because that's why we're trying to bring our agenda across. So it's important to actually pause, try and listen, acknowledge, and repeat to show that you understand what has been said.
Because that was a really good exercise in marriage prep, and my sister and Keith just did it, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's changed the game. Because when you're arguing and confronting, it can be such a quick conversation. And when transactions are so quick, you haven't even got time to think. You're like on the back of what the last person said.
And I also find, for me personally, sometimes when Annabella's saying things, like I might not be able to process it because I'm like, this woman is talking at me. But when I repeat it back and I hear it in my own voice, I'm like, I'm actually understanding what's going on.
Definitely. Also, and finally, when confronting your partner, you need to not define them by this situation.
Not gonna lie, that was me. Like labels. Because in my head, things are very black and white. So if you do this, that means you are this. If you do that, that means you are this. So I have learned not to attribute any labels when a conflict arises, because no one likes to be labeled in life. So do not label your partner. And the worst thing about labeling is that sometimes they may not actually, like for example, be someone who complains all the time, but then as soon as you put the label as a complainer or something, they actually become that person. So you want to be careful with the labels that you put on the partner. And that's what you look for in the partner, right? You look for them to be a, I don't know, if you call them, oh, you're a liar, because they lied in a specific situation. You're looking for them to lie in every other situation because you've titled them. So it's important not to title your partner based on that particular act that happened. And that helps them get over it. That helps you, like, I don't know, it just helps the relationship, right? 100%, because what we truly believe is actually tackling the issue. So you have to separate the person that you love and the person that you chose to marry or get in a relationship with from the given issue. The issue is the problem, and we go together to attack the issue rather than the person.
I think when we got together, we'd done so much qualification that we were like, yep, this is the person that I want to marry. Now, if you've made that decision, you know they're a great person, you know their heart is in the right place. So why are you putting all these labels on them as an individual? It's just not right. It's just something that they've done. It doesn't define who they are. And, you know, society's already defining you, you know, in every specific area. But no one wants that at home.
No one wants that at home, basically. So don't define your partner based on what they've done. Provide a bit of grace. Okay? You know, attack the problem. Don't attack your partner. And everything will be smooth sailing.
So those are the ideals, of course. You know, that would be perfect if we went to every argument like that.
We are still working process.
Sometimes you go so forward and then you go so back. And you're like, oh gosh.
You know, because the old ways creep in, but it's an ongoing practice that we have to try and keep doing each and every day. Like, this is the daily battle that we fight, rather than thinking that we can just arrive at this place.
Yeah, 100%. So we hope you enjoyed that video. We hope you can now understand why confrontation is important and how to go into confrontation well. Thinking about, even, did we mention tone of voice? That is a big one as well. Like, the tone that you go into the confrontation with. You know, if you're like, what did you do? If you're loud, if you're, you know,
and for men as well, because of our, well, generally speaking, men are bigger in stature than women. So if we go in with our presence, that can be quite intimidating. So it's important to really assess.
It's nice maybe a man be sitting down. There's so much to think about, you know.
So much to think about,
So much. And sometimes it's overwhelming, but it's so worth it.
But I think what's also important is for you guys to actually share how you go about confrontation, because so that we can all learn within the community down in the comment section.
I'm sure there's so many more. Those are just the ones that we thought about. But sharing is caring, and we are a family. So guys, share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching Deku Fam. See ya. Bye.